Wow, Virgo sun, moon rising sign, June of 2025 is going to elevate your reputation, your social standing, and your career luck, including increased gains financially, as well as give you a lot of momentum and mojo to make choices and take actions in ways that really serve you. You're going to be super powered up by a kind of drive and ambition that is every 2 years rare. So I'm about to share how this month of June, with Jupiter's blessings as well as he exalts you in Capricorn, in Cancer, are about to play out in your sky. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Lori Lothian, and I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac, whole sign houses, fixed stars, and minor asteroids. And as I record this today for my Patreon community on May the 21st, I am going to say that I am so looking forward to this month of June. It's just going to be a breath of fresh air. 4 planets are changing signs. It's not going to feel anything like the last couple of months. One thing I want to mention is that if you're new here as well, I do share things that I'm up to. And one of them is I'm teaching my Sky Reader class in June, is calling it the summer school. Come aboard with me and learn your astrology, be your own astrologer, time your best life. It's a great class. I've taught it 5 times. This will be my 6th time around. And I'll take you through the basics of your astrology chart, how to read it, and then, of course, how to look at some easy and simple timing tools that you can use to help time your best life. So that starts in the month of July. In the description box below, there is a description of the course, a link to the course description. And in the description box below, you can also find the early bird discount waitlist, where you're going to get in at a discounted price by being ahead of the curve. And on my 2025 All Signs bundles are now half price. More information in the description box below. All right, so first of all, I'm going to move us, Virgo, straight away to show you the chart. I'm going to navigate us through the sky in chronological order. We have a couple of great lunations, one in Sag this month that I really, really like, and another one in Cancer that's pretty darn lucky. And we're going to take you through the chronological order of this month ahead. Just remember, this is general bell curve astrology. It's not your natal chart reading, but it should apply. When you're listening for your sun sign, which I recommend is useful, you're kind of focusing a little bit on career, a little bit on purpose-oriented matters. The moon sign can often be about your home and your home life and matters to do with how you feel about reality. But the rising sign is the character you play in the simulation that we're in. It's your avatar in the game. And in that regard, circumstantial changes in your life are often strongly connected to the rising sign. So hopefully you can listen for that as well. So let's get going. I'm pulling up the chart for your perusal. And here we go. So let's start off with the very, very basics. This is the Virgo rising. That's the Virgo glyph right there. I'm going to move the ascendant degree backwards so it doesn't skip around on me. And we're going to start talking. Now, let me pull it back a bit by an hour. Maybe, and yeah, I'm staying there, and minutes, just to hold on to that ascendant. There we go. Now, the month is starting with a very beautiful elemental, beautiful storyline. It's Venus, the goddess of good things, prosperity and love and everything else, and kindness and friendship and peace. She's at 26 degrees, 26 degrees on June 1st, 2nd. And she's connecting to Chiron and helping you heal a chironic wound around things that may be deeply shameful or karmatic, or a feeling perhaps of a wound around money and assets and resources that have been challenging for you, whether it's your taxes and your debts and your cards and your credit cards, or maybe it's matters to do with inheritances. But there's a nice light touch of, let's heal this chironic chunky money wound as we start the first 2 or 3 days of the month of June. And then we move into the fact that she starts to sextile Jupiter in your 10th house. Jupiter has been in your 10th house of career now for an entire year. And this has been giving you some career expansion, growth, and luck. And yes, some difficulty. Jupiter can bite off more than he can chew in Gemini. Plus, he did a retrograde. So it's sort of like, it's good, but not necessarily great. But you had some career luck in the last 12 months, I hope. And now, as Venus is sextiling him, she's trying to give him some support. Now, they're both planets in their detriment, but it's still Venus and Jupiter. So look for a little bit of a career lucky break, likely connected to financial matters in your career, such as a promotion, a raise, a performance payment, a chunk of money coming off the career spectrum here in the first 4 or 5 days of June. As we continue to move forward off that June lucky energy, then we're going to notice, like the first week, that Mercury is also having some good news for us. He's sextiling Mars. This is usually Mercury Mercury is all about information. Mercury is all about news or communication. Mars is about passion. And I wonder here for you, having this energy playing out with Mercury here in the top of your sky, having a nice little chat with Mars in your 12th house, is it backroom deals and negotiations in your career are not going to be somehow favoring you. Sometimes when I see this combination, I think of things like, the boss, human resources, they're eyeing you for a position, or you're going to get headhunted, or something's going on that is not nearly as visible as the normative, but it does favor you because ultimately Mercury's headed for Jupiter, which is really good news in your career. So this kind of vibe going on, you won't even necessarily understand what's happening the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th of June, as Mercury's doing some negotiating with Mars behind the scenes on your behalf. Otherwise, this could be a really good time for you to be engaging in projects behind the scenes with passion and ardor that are going to favor your results in your career overall. And you're busy working on communications projects, maybe you're writing a letter asking for a raise or promotion, or maybe behind the scenes getting a bunch of applications and things ready for applying for new jobs. And that could be going to be very favorable as a result. So if you're busy in the back end working on career matters, you'll see a lot of success from that, because eventually Mercury does connect with Jupiter this month. We'll get to that shortly. Venus is changing signs. Venus has been in Aries for quite a long time, a couple of months because of retrogradation, and she's not in good shape here. She's been having a hard time bringing like world peace, for example, but watch her cross the sign boundary here on June the 6th. Now she's in your very lucky Lakshmi luck house, and she's a goddess of luck. Number one, it is going to unfold a series of lucky breaks for you if you're open to them in some way that favor you personally, as she is in a trine to your ascendant, your sun and your moon. Sun is your career, moon is your home life, ascendant is your character in the simulation, but she's flowing to that simulation character, offering up some beautiful support. So I'd say something along the lines of between June the 6th and July the 4th, as she travels through your 9th house of God, actually, is what it's called in the ancient world, things look up in your life in a very positive way. Now, you could also have some great opportunities from foreign places, foreign shores, and foreign people coming your way. You might also want to travel to foreign places during this transit, and it might be very much a very positive experience. You might also have favorable outcomes in legal and court matters. And if you're in the book publishing world, lucky breaks there as well. And if you're in the academic world as a student, favorable results. And that's playing out June the 6th to July the 4th. Now, moving forward, you'll notice that we see that Mercury does finally jump into the arms of Jupiter. And that's why I'm saying all that stuff in the career looks exceptionally positive. When you put these two together, it means good news. Mercury is information, news, or negotiations, and Jupiter is luck, expansion, prosperity. And it's at the top of your sky at 29 degrees anaretic in the house of career and reputation. Now, it's also the house of weddings, and you may be announcing, we're getting married, or he proposed, or I proposed, or it could be celebratory good news about your relationship, especially because Jupiter rules your relationship, right? Rules your 7th house of commitment. But if it's not that, it's probably something like, wow, I cannot believe it. They want to give me a raise, a promotion. I negotiated a better salary. I got the new job I've been applying for, and I'm jumping for joy. And so that energy is playing out pretty well on June 7th and June 8th. So look forward to this nice little pop in the sky. You get this kind of pop every 12 years. So because you have to have Jupiter in Gemini. So here we are. Enjoy the 12-year sky pop in your career success story. Thank you, Jupiter and Mercury. Moving into the next narrative, Mercury then also crosses the sign boundary. We already had Venus moving into Taurus, and now Mercury goes into his mute sign of Cancer. Now he'll be here for a while and all the way through until June 26th. He can bring you really good results with the following themes: more social time with friends and groups, that you're having a good time socializing, more communications projects that bring greater career gains to you, whether you're on podcasts or you're out there speaking, or you have to do presentations in the work environment, better ability to negotiate terms for career success gains, and, like medical gains, perks, in your career space that favor you. Your negotiating skills will bring you good spirit fortunes, good luck in your career. So there's all of that. And it's a very social transit. It tends to have people hanging out with people, even colleagues and coworkers, and being much more social or larger friendship circles. Your social life gets a nice glow up. Mercury enjoys social events. And this is going to be true for you all the way from June the 9th to the 26th, and enjoy that ride. And next, I want to bring our attention in your sky, Virgo, to the fact that Venus is going to square Pluto on the 9th as well. June 9th and 10th, this is playing out. Pluto and Venus in a square, especially she's in dignity, she's strong, she's in a lucky house for you, the 9th house, squaring Pluto in the 6th house can be a major transformation, regeneration, catalytic energy around your work and luck, your job and coworker space and luck, or a very catalytic improvement around health matters. And with Mars in the 12th, getting rid of those addictions and self-undoing through guides, coaches, mentors, teaching, and learning. So you may enjoy a kind of vibe of, I no longer need to smoke that weed, I'm over it, but I've got a guide, a coach, a mentor, a female maybe helping me. It's really powerful energy, though, for some up levels in health in general. And mostly because you get rid of the ways you undo your own best health. Otherwise, you could have some lucky breaks from human resources or headhunters in the work scene coming through this square. Now, the square means it's intense, it's transformative, it's asking you to really go for it. It's going to sort of regurgitate a bunch of energy here to do with like a phoenix rising from the ashes of a situation that can be transformed. Now, Jupiter is squaring Saturn as well this month ahead. And that happens because he crosses his sign boundary. And he does that on June the 10th. Sometimes it depends on your time zone. It may be June the 9th. And you'll see that he squares Saturn in a broad square, but it gets profoundly precise in the middle of June, around the 15th. The point isn't so much the degree, rather than the overall energy of the month, where Jupiter, starting about June the 10th through to the end of the month, has to do some hard-assed energy with Saturn. Jupiter is a buoyant, lucky, expansive, exalted, entitled energy in the sign of Cancer. He's going to try his best over the course of 1 year to bring you exalted gains in your career, the money, the earnings, the celebrity, the perks. He'll bring you great new friends who are magnificent, magnanimous, social groups of belonging and social influence increasing. All of this to say, yay, except that Jupiter starts off with a bit of a tough story. Saturn is a Mr. Debbie Downer, squaring Jupiter, saying, but look at this over here first, why don't you? And the 8th house stories are your taxes, your shared resources with a partner, your inheritance monies, on and on we go. And maybe even issues in your life, you have to come to terms with it, are karmic, that have to do with not feeling good about how other people see you, the esteem of others being compromised. In a lot of ways, I think, though, it's really going to be an issue to do with looking at the financial money stories that are not about your paycheck. This can be about tax burdens, and this can be about inheritance matters. Now, Jupiter can bring pennies from heavens or windfalls to you. But with Saturn here, unfortunately, that windfall could look like an inheritance. So it's a bit of like bittersweet on the financial front in the month of June. So certainly we don't mind a windfall, but do we want it to come through an inheritance of an elder person, Saturn in the 8th house and Mars in the house of hospitals? So I'm just giving you a story. It's not necessarily yours, but you're getting all this exalted career excitement, and there's an expense, a contraction, a cautionary downer note happening as well in June. Don't forget that this doesn't last. By the time we move into July, Jupiter's just exalted without a lot of hardship. He moves away from the intensity of the square to Saturn. Now, Saturn is also conjoining with Jupiter all month long, and it's not precise, but it's still active. And that can mean you're really working on understanding how to make some visionary, imaginal dreams come true in your 8th house. And that would look at how you wish to make things happen financially that don't require you to work so hard, including looking at dreams come true around investments, retirement monies, shared resources with a spouse, money that you get through an inheritance. There's a little bit of a push and pull between what's real and what's, dreamy and fantastical, and you're trying to figure that out all month of June. Mars will trine Chiron. Now, what is this Chironic wound here? This is happening around June the 11th, 12th. Mars and Chiron, this could be a real turning point regarding family stuff, family of origin challenges, issues with your mom, your dad, challenges you've had that are held you back, that feel like a wound around addictions and self-undoing, stemming from the family of origin and family systems matters, or some wound you've been experiencing with how you share the resources you earn with your spouse or significant other. There's a Chironic turning point healing energy trying to occur through actions and decisions, endings and cutting away things that don't serve you. And so not only does Venus start the month of June trying to heal that wound, but then Mars takes up the slack and continues to work on that, particularly around June 10th, 11th, and 12th. On June the 12th, we see that on June the 10th, 11th, we see that Venus is sextiling Mercury. These two combining forces bring goodness and information and luck and news to you. Venus is kind of like, I've got a lot to do in the lucky house. I'm going to fortify your health. I'm going to give you good luck. I'm going to give you opportunities for travel. I'll give you legal outcomes that favor you. I'll bring you some just general luck, all-purpose luck. And yet at the same time, now Mercury has some information or news for you. So look to like June 10th, 11th, and 12th for that to play out. And it might be something like a perk in your job or career, or a favor from a friend that really helps, or some good news around academics, book publishing deals, and also, of course, legal and court matters favoring you as well. So that happens to be true, as I said, June the 9th to the 12th. Now, 10th to the 12th. Now, we have a difficult sky coming through. Mars squares Uranus, June the 12th to the 16th. It's not good for the world. I'm a little concerned, especially with the situation in Iran. But we won't go there now. Just to say, June 12th to the 16th in your life, Mars square Uranus is something along these lines. You have to understand Uranus brings unexpected and surprising events, and Mars says cut and sever, or make a major decision and like do it now. And this is connected to the following themes. Matters to do with your highest meaning of life, goals and dreams, like your dharmic energy, what you want to do that's on purpose. That's Uranus in the 9th house. But also with Venus there, it may involve a sibling too older, or it may involve something to do with courts and legal situations. And Mars is the god of lawsuits. And there's a break free or breakthrough moment, but it may be surprising, and it may require you to make decisions and take actions. Now, on a very practical note, a sudden disruption of a trip that you want to take abroad, a cancellation of a plan to go somewhere for pleasure and leisure and fun in a foreign distant shore, and disrupted energy, cancellation energy, changing the path ahead, making new directional shifts. It can be really good for a breakthrough for addictions. That's the upside of that, especially in the house of God. You might have a sudden illumination. You might join AA, but there's a real kind of breakthrough, breakdown, positive energy if you have to overcome a self-undoing habit pattern or addiction. But nonetheless, it's kind of intense. There's an intense crucible of change, unexpected change coming through your sky, June 12th to the 16th. Now, Mars is also going to change signs. Everybody gets a sign change this month. Isn't this exciting? I want you to notice that Mars at 26 degrees of Leo is getting ready to cross a sign boundary. As we approach that sign boundary change on the 17th, and we move ourselves towards the 15th of the month, you're going to notice that Jupiter is squaring Neptune. Well, it's like he's also squaring Saturn. What is true? What is real? This is the question you're going to ask yourself. What is true? What is real when it comes to secrets, family secrets, secrets my spouse and I keep from each other? What is true and what is real with how I interact with my friends, with my social groups? What is true and what is real regarding financial matters connected to work and work contracts? That's the story. Jupiter has a truth. The obfuscation of truth is sometimes Neptune. So there's an opportunity to see what is true and real in a situation in your life around June the 5th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. Then Mars crosses sign boundaries, and he's now moving through the sign of Virgo. So he does this every 2 years. He'll be here for about 6 weeks. So all of June. And crossing into the sign boundary, right, moving into this part of your sky is going to indicate a new area of decisions and actions that demand your attention. And that's you. If it's your Virgo sun, decisions and actions that must be made aggressively and actively connected to your career, your moon, Virgo moon, about your home life, but your Virgo rising, any area of your life you wish to direct your intentionality to make decisions and take actions boldly. Now, you can injure yourself with this if it's your rising sign, so be careful. Often Mars can bring injuries, accidents, cuts, burns, etc. So just be more cautious during this time, the next 6 weeks ahead. Harness Mars for decisive action and powerful decision making. This is your superpower that I mentioned in the intro. You're going to get the superpower lined up on June the 17th. It's going to last for 6 weeks. You'll suffer no fools gladly. You'll end, cut, and sever people, places, things, jobs, and situations that don't serve you. And as he enters into the sign of Virgo, he first sextiles Jupiter in your house of career gains and friendship. So you can gently end a friendship that doesn't work for you, but you can also see significant decisions and actions coming through the sky June 17th at about 4 days connected to matters of your career and your earnings. And you're doing that in ways that are auspicious, powerful, and formidably successful. So don't be afraid of this. This is really a positive time. I love that sextile to Jupiter, and it's playing out from the 19th to the 21st, even in its precision. So decisions and actions around career and gains in career are going to be very beneficial at this time. On June the 21st, the square from Saturn to the sun will open up a moment of challenge. This is going to happen as the sun moves into the solstice time, into the sign of Cancer. And as this is occurring, the first thing we notice is the sun will conjoin with Jupiter on June 21st. But just before that, just as that is happening, this is going to open up this conjunction, a square to Saturn as well. So around the 20th to about the 24th, there is a kind of need to reconcile your career success with matters to do with your shared resources with a partner, or your suspicion you're not worthy of this money that you're going to get or the success you're going to get because you don't think people look to you with esteem. Or maybe you're going to deal with some kind of secrets that are coming out that are at odds with your success story, or hardship because somebody, family member may be, not doing well physically. And now you have, with the square, be a solar figure, a father figure, grandparent, great uncle, and you're having to deal with the downside of that. Well, you're also experiencing some career success. Now, with Jupiter Sun conjunction along with Mercury in co-presence, this is good news in your career, good developments in your career gains itself, and maybe some really golden opportunities in your career around June the 24th. Career gains, career success, career influence, career perks, career rewards. And at the same time, this is a conjunction that sextiles Mars. You're ready to take the actions. You're going to jump on it. You're going to make the decisions you need to make in order to capitalize on what I'm going to call your golden opportunity window around June the 24th and 25th. You could take major leaps here for career up levels and be very happy about it. Risk will be rewarded at this time. Mars is the god of risk-taking. Risk will be rewarded for you around June the 24th, 25th in matters related to career opportunities. As we move forward to June the 26th, Mercury will sextile Uranus, surprising but positive news. This is kind of you can be like, didn't see it coming, but glad it came, and especially with Venus up here. So this is a luck house, a Lakshmi house, unexpected opportunity to travel abroad. You're going to win in a court case, career opportunities connected to companies connected to foreign shores and foreign lands, an up level of success in a matter to do with a legal court case and a sudden favoring you in the outcome, book publishing deal coming out of nowhere. These are exciting and positive things that occur with unexpected good fortune, good positive developments. And that will again happen. And this could also involve a sibling, one older than you and two older than you. It may not just be your story as well. Keep that in mind. or a good news story with a friend of yours that favors you greatly, like a favor from a friend, a benefit from a friend, and you're surprised. A friend wants to take you abroad on a trip. I don't know what it is, but it's all very good. Now, and the next thing to say about the sky is that June 27th, you're going to notice that Mercury is crossing into the next sign. He will be in the sign of Leo here starting on June 26th to September 2nd because of retrogradation. And because he will retrograde back and forth here, you're going to do a lot of inner work. You're going to go back and readdress some of yourself on doing addictions. You're going to dig in deeper. You're going to work on creative projects or backroom deals and negotiations, alone, home alone, behind the scenes, things that you do and communicate and work on in your downtime, in your behind the scenes space are going to be very important for you. This is not going to be over till September 2nd. So it starts on June the 26th as Mercury enters into your 12th house. All right, where he's going to have you doing a lot of thinking, a lot of communicating, a lot of ruminating about stuff behind the scenes. As he enters into here, one of the first things he does is oppose Pluto. Now, this is normally difficult, but because of an outlet on a wedge to Saturn, it's kind of not so bad. There may be a financial breakthrough that allows you to eliminate debts connected to hospitals. For example, I hate to say it, somebody's in a hospital and you're going to get some money. We talked about that earlier. There may be a breakthrough in an addiction, self-undoing that impacts your health because you uncork the karmic stories connected to your family system and or family origin stories and secrets, and you're able to release and purge away from the way you keep screwing up your life because of some habit. I don't care. It doesn't have to be an addiction. It could be a substance misuse disorder or addiction. It could be a subtle pattern of self-sabotage that you're ready to karmically release. And that's what I love about this, because it is deeply connected to the most karmatic house, the 8th house. And with Mars, the Lord of that karmic house, favoring you in your Virgo zone, this is going to be a catalytic release through a dream and at night, an understanding, a new insight into how you are your own worst enemy. And I see big major releases for a lot of Virgos around these matters. I know you guys care about your health, but sometimes you can be your worst enemy because of unprocessed childhood or karmatic stories. And this can be a very subtle but powerful breakthrough. Who doesn't want that? By July 4th, by the way, Venus will, like in the first 4 or 5 days of July, Venus will collide with Jupiter. So that's going to be a very happy surprise coming through the top of your sky in the 9th house. So we'll be covering that in the June story, but I just want to keep your eye on the ball that's coming through as well. Thanks for listening, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Don't forget to come join me in Sky Reader in July and August. Be your own astrologer, time your best life. Enrollment doors for that will open sometime in June, but right now you can get your early bird discount, waitlist notification, and you can also, check out the course description in the description box under the More button under the video. Thank you so much for listening, and good, happy, merry Jupiter exalted June to you.